Welcome to the war. Okay, this video is going to be somewhat of an experiment, so just hang in with me there. If you watched my last video, or my last battle report, it was a Lion Rampant game using the Blood Feud scenario from the rulebook. And I alluded to the fact that that was actually the second time I played that game. And in both instances, the defender was able to hold off the attacker with 2 units of veteran archers who just really kind of commanded the hill. You can see in the top left of the video here. So I thought it might be an interesting little experiment to see if the community, all of you, could figure out a way to crack this nut and do a little bit of the sort of choose your own adventure, or as I'm calling it, you be the general video. So in this video, we're going to set up our deployment. And I want everyone or anyone watching the video to leave a comment on what you'd like to do with your force here. And we'll get into what the forces are exactly. We'll do all of that. But I'm planning to post this video tonight around 5 o'clock Eastern, and then subsequently leave it for 24 hours, get some comments on deployment, thoughts, plans, etc. And then tomorrow I'll set it up and we can begin with the first turn. So, and then I'll leave that up for 24 hours again and get some more comments on what to do with the forces on the battlefield. And we'll play this out. I'm aiming, I think, around 7 to 10 turns. So give or take a week, we should have a result here. And yes, I'm sure I could totally just live cast this or do something, but I thought this might be a little more of an experiment. So anyway, let's I'll pause there. We'll get into the forces, both what I'm fielding on the left here. In this case, they will be the House of York, and what you, the community, are going to be fielding on the right, represented by the red dice, representing the House of Lancaster. So let's get into it and see what forces we've got. So for my force, this is the generic Wars of the Roses list from the Lion Rampant rulebook. So it's represented by a unit of veteran heavy infantry, 2 units of veteran archers. There's one there. There's the other unit here. And then a unit of elite infantry. In this instance, this is going to be the Duke of Norfolk that we're representing here. So your mission, community, is to eliminate him before there are 5 or less units on the board. We'll get into the objective a little bit more specifically, but let's see what forces you've got over here. And again, I've marked these with dice. So if when you're leaving comments, you want to refer to them by the dice number, this will be the consistent marker there. That's probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we'll get into some names as well, or you could just call them by their unit type. So to start with, you've got Lord Clifford here. He's your commander, and he is leading a unit of heavy cavalry. They're not elite cavalry, okay? They're heavy cavalry. You've then got your first unit of heavy infantry, in this instance led by the Duke of Exeter, or the Wheatsheaf flag. You've got a unit of mercenary crossbowmen, 2 units, one here and one here, of skirmishers. They are armed with handguns, but I'm using them as skirmishers, just like I did in the last battle report. The way you're going to be able to tell these 2 apart is one unit has a flag, the other unit has the leader, this guy armed with a sword there. Then you've got your second unit of heavy infantry. In this instance, this is Henry Percy, who's going to be leading them. You can refer to them as Percy's unit. And then you've got a unit of archers here. All of your units here are regular. So your regulars facing off against veterans. All right, I'm going to pause there. Let's talk about the table. Okay, here's our battlefield. And again, all I'm asking of today is for you to tell me where to deploy your forces. And you can be as specific as you like, or as open as you'd like. You want everything on the left flank, everything on the right flank, or whatever. And I'll pick the comments and decide that. We'll go through some of that in a second. But this is going to be a 6x4 table. The edge of this hill here is where the board ends. So you're basically playing with that side. And you're going to be deploying over here. So you've got the hill on your left flank, some hedgerows here sort of along your center. You got some rough going terrain there, those fields. And then you've got some woods over on this side. And I play them by the edge of the wood all around is where they're bordering. So, and then you can see over on my side, as it were, again, that hill in the middle that's really sort of a pretty dominating feature of the board. I'm not going to surprise everyone and suddenly just deploy everything over here. I'll keep my tactics pretty similar. Again, I'd like to figure out a way to crack this nut. And so yeah, let me know again as specifically as you want. Do you want units in a long line? Do you want them bunched up together? Again, all within the the standard formation rules for Lion Rampant. But we'll do that. All right. So that being said, yeah, let me just recap a few rules, few housekeeping items, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, I'm hoping this is all making sense. If it doesn't, please just say, and I can either clarify in the comments or we can go from there. But all I'm basically asking is the community, leave a comment, decide where you'd like, or if you're watching this video, decide where you'd like your forces to deploy. I'll post that video at 5 p.m. tomorrow or the following day, as it were, using the what I think are the most entertaining or interesting or tactically viable setup instructions. And then the next video will be turn 1. We'll we'll receive comments for that, do that, and we'll try to play this out. I'm aiming, this is likely a sort of a 7 to 10 turn game. So, within about a week, we should have some answers on or a result. And let's see, just a couple of, I would say, housekeeping things. One, please don't be offended if I don't follow your instructions or I misinterpret them in some way, or you're not happy with that, or that I just don't pick your idea. I'm gonna ultimately try to get the things that make the most entertaining video to watch or experience or engaging thing, but I want to give you as much agency as you can to really kind of dictate things here. Let's see what else. Again, I'm going to try to do very good at posting these at the right times. Again, I think a turn a day isn't too big of a deal to do. Oh, and an important thing, hand on my heart, if we roll or fail order tests, and they have, I've had it in the past where it's failed straight away and ultimately makes for a pretty boring turn, I am going to stick to that. We are not, so keep your general, I think, where you can utilize his reroll. And I'll try and do the same here. So yeah, I'm going to play this as it happens. So we're not going to fudge any of the dice rolls or any of that nonsense. So with that being said, yes, last kind of call to action. Let me know where you want to deploy your forces here on this side of the table, and I'll do that tomorrow, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks for watching. I hope this works. I hope it's entertaining.